obviously the big news today is not sounder training, but it's the decision that the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. And so my personal feeling on that is that I don't have the right to tell any human being what to do with their body. I think a woman's right to choose what she does during the course of her lifetime should be their right, full stop. Full stop. That's my opinion. Now, there's a lot of stuff we could go in the weeds. Sometimes the rape or incest and all of those things come up. Well, I shouldn't say that, because look, if a senator's wife or daughter or granddaughter got raped, maybe they might think differently about getting an abortion, right? But that's not the thing for me. The thing for me is women should have the right to do with their bodies what they choose. And in layman's terms, what I read, because the legal mumbo jumbo, the way I look at it is the court is telling a woman that if you get pregnant, you're responsible. That's what they're saying. And so they don't take into consideration if the pregnancy is bad or there's a risk to the woman's own life and any of that stuff. They're saying you got pregnant, you're responsible, without any thought to some of those exceptions, which I think is totally wrong. And then speaking as a man, where's my responsibility? I mean, women can't get pregnant by themselves. And so where is the man's responsibility in this decision, in this, situation that we have? So I think it's brutally unfair, and I don't agree with it. Full stop.
Right. The issue some would say it comes down to voting, because we're in this situation because of 2016, in a sense.
Yeah.
You guys have always been very outspoken about getting out the vote and helping do that. I mean, here we are, and we see the consequences of inaction, I guess.
I would say that now, and let's not forget the other big issues that are happening in this country about gun violence, about immigration, the borders, all of those things that are so politically polarizing. Whatever happened to just common sense and people thinking about things and having some decency in our politics? And so if you're fed up with all that, if you're fed up with all the bullcrap that goes on in politics, then vote the people in that are going to be respectful, good decision makers, not placed there because they're a famous football player or some radical person that speaks to a group of people that think that she's smart. Just use common sense. Get involved in these issues, because yes, you are correct. If we don't vote them out, or we don't do what we are supposed to do as American citizens, then shame on us.
And when these things come up, like this or what happened at Uvalde, do you and the team, when you sit down or other team, get together and have these conversations about these kind of big world issues like this?
So when Uvalde happened, I brought it up in a team meeting, because a lot of our players have kids. And how do they feel? And what did they think? And we had a little bit of a conversation, because we're slowly trying to, look, we're still a professional soccer team. That's our number one job, but there are certain issues that come up that, maybe it's better in a individual setting, smaller group settings, but I brought it up to the whole group. With this one, I didn't get a chance to do it today. I might do it to, some of the people that we have working. We have a bunch of competent women people working for us. How do they feel today? It's not about my feelings. It's about the women's feelings. How do they feel today? How can I help you? I might do that instead of bringing it up in front of the guys.
Soccer question, Ryan. How's
Sure.
your team feeling this week after a week of training, after that one draw last week?
Yeah.
Momentum going here.
Yeah, the 1-1 draw certainly was a little bit of a air out of the balloon, but it was a fair result. Looking back on that, I thought it was a fair result. Raul was in a good mood because he's out on the grass, so the music in the locker room was good, the vibe was good. Yaimar's coming back, so he's in a good mood. You know, I think the team's in a good spot. These 2 home games are super critical. I think they know, but they're in good spirits.
Good, you got Nico back today. How's
Yeah.
he?
Nico looked good. Yeah.
And you had mentioned Josh's status was something that was going to be determined probably today. What's
Health and safety protocols. And I am not obliged, or I can't say anything else, but I feel for the kid. I feel for the kid. His season has not been developing or unfolding like we would want.
Brian, the balance of what? Let me go this way. 1-1. How do you carry that momentum into a game against a team that's struggling a little bit, but you really get that message to concentrate on what you all have to do, execute, and keep momentum going?
Well, I think you said it right there, Maz. I'm not overly concerned about Kansas City because I don't control what they do. I've messaged to our group that they are a dangerous team. They took it to us last year at home. And so how do we go from a 1-1 draw to a 3-1 win or something like that? That's what we trained out on the grass. Some of our final third movements, being a little cleaner in the penalty box, understanding that tomorrow's going to be a little bit of a challenge if it's a nice day like this and the turf is a little sticky, making sure you're clean in these moments because you might only get one chance. And then in that moment, you got to be fully concentrated and make sure you put the ball away.